Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to dig into what it takes to build a business that lasts. Not just survives, but, thrives.
Yeah, adapts to all the twists and turns the market throws at you.
Exactly. And our guide for this is Julian Kelly's Business Planning and Execution for Beginners. It's book 5 in his Blueprints to Business Mastery series.
And don't let that beginner's title fool you.
Yeah.
Kelly gets into some really foundational stuff that, honestly, even experienced folks can kind of forget.
Right. And overlooking them can be, fatal for a business.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission here is to pull out those key principles, the things that help businesses really stand the test of time, stay competitive, stay profitable, even when things get rocky.
It's not about finding some magic bullet or the latest, growth hack.
No, it's about that continuous evolution, making smart strategic choices consistently.
Yeah, building real lasting value.
And you might actually be surprised by some of the insights packed in here. Things often overlooked. We promise some really practical stuff you can use. So let's jump in.
Okay, so Kelly kicks things off by hammering home this idea of adaptability.
Sounds kind of obvious, maybe.
Well, yes and no. The nuance he brings is key. It's not just reacting when change hits you. It's about proactively analyzing what's happening, staying informed.
And being willing to actually change your model, your products, whatever it is, before you absolutely have to.
Exactly. He points out that so many businesses fail, not because they didn't see change coming, but because they just resisted. They didn't want to adjust course.
That's a huge point. It's easy to say be adaptable, but how? I mean, how does Kelly suggest you actually build that capability? Is it just reading the news?
He argues it's deeper. It's got to be part of the culture,
Right.
Leadership needs to foster it.
So empowering people to spot trends.
Yeah, and actually listen to feedback, even the tough stuff. Create a mindset where disruption isn't scary. It's an opportunity.
Right.
He gives examples of companies that didn't just survive big shifts. They actually found totally new ways to make money because they pivoted fast.
Even if it meant letting go of something that used to work well.
Precisely. It's like a living thing, constantly evolving.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And another piece of its health, Kelly really emphasizes, is rigorous financial discipline.
Oh, absolutely.
He basically says tons of businesses, even ones with great products, go under simply because they mismanage their money.
It's surprisingly common.
He's talking smart budgeting, reinvesting profits wisely, keeping a close eye on cash flow, always planning for that rainy day.
Having that runway. Knowing your burn rate, he wants you almost obsessive about it.
Yeah. And tied to that, is his focus on customer loyalty. This was fascinating.
Mm-hmm. We all know it costs less to keep a customer than find a new one, right? Like 5 to 25 times cheaper, some studies say.
But Kelly's point goes beyond just saving marketing dollars.
Right. Loyal customers become your best salespeople. Referrals, word of mouth. That powerful stuff.
And they tend to spend more over their lifetime with you, that higher customer lifetime value, or CLTV.
And he argues you have to sort of engineer this loyalty. It's not just about having good service, though that helps.
It's about consistent value, a great experience, really engaging with your brand.
Yeah, building that connection.
I love that phrase, engineering loyalty. And then there's innovation. Kelly warns that just standing still, stagnation, that's like a slow death for a business.
You always have to be looking for ways to improve. Always.
Whether it's tweaking your product, making operations smoother, finding new marketing angles.
The companies that last are the ones constantly finding ways to add more value, stay slightly ahead.
It pushes that culture of creativity, stops you from becoming, irrelevant.
And this loops back, doesn't it, to strong leadership and having a really clear company vision.
Definitely. The leaders have to grow and adapt too.
And Kelly stresses that having and communicating that crystal clear vision keeps everyone pulling in the same direction. Your team, your customers, even investors.
It's the North Star guiding all that adaptability and innovation we talked about. Mm-hmm. It really is about laying a solid foundation.
And a massive part of that foundation, a well-thought-out business plan.
Right. But Kelly insists this isn't some document you write once and stick in a drawer.
No. It has to be a living tool, something that guides your actual decisions day to day.
It evolves with the business. You use it constantly to check if you're still on the right strategic path.
And it needs realistic financials, clear marketing plans, how you'll actually operate.
Those financial projections. That's where he says a lot of entrepreneurs trip up. They get way too optimistic.
Yeah, rose-tinted glasses.
Kelly insists you map out startup costs, expected income, operating expenses, potential risks. Detailed cash flow is critical so you don't get caught short.
Know your numbers inside and out.
Absolutely. And marketing needs to be just as concrete in the plan. Who are you targeting? How will you reach them? What message actually connects?
And the operations piece too, like how does the business function daily? What systems keep things efficient? And risk assessment isn't just box ticking. It's identifying real potential problems, market shifts, economic dips, and having strategies ready before they hit.
It all comes back to being prepared to be flexible, really.
Which leads perfectly into defining your mission, vision, and goals. Kelly says these aren't just fluffy statements for the website.
No, they're the bedrock, the why behind everything.
Your mission statement answers that core question. Why do we exist? Think of Tesla's mission, right? To accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Clear, ambitious.
Yeah, gives direction. And the vision statement looks ahead, describes what you want to become long-term.
If mission is the why, vision is the where.
Like Google's to provide access to the world's information in one click. Simple, but huge.
And Kelly stresses make them memorable, make them inspiring, not just, corporate speak.
Then you break it down with SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Right. These turn the big vision into actual steps you can track and manage.
So if your vision is leading in eco-fashion,
a SMART goal might be source 100% sustainable materials within 3 years and cut your carbon footprint by, say, 20% in that same time frame.
Got it. And Kelly says these aren't set in stone either.
No, they need to evolve as the business does.
Yeah.
And they need to be really embedded in the culture, not just words on paper.
Okay, so foundation laid. Mission clear. Next up, choosing the right business model. This feels like a really critical decision.
It absolutely is. It defines how you actually create value, deliver it to customers, and make money from it.
Kelly talks about different types.
Yeah, he covers several.
Yeah.
Direct-to-consumer, subscription, freemium, marketplace models like Etsy or Airbnb, franchising, licensing.
And the right one depends entirely on your specific situation.
Exactly. Your industry, your product, who your customer is. There's no single best model. Each has pros and cons.
Yeah, what are the key things to consider when you're picking one?
Well, critically, your revenue streams. How will you actually make money? Direct sales, ads, partnerships, maybe a mix like Apple does with hardware, software, services, and scalability is huge. Can your model grow without your costs growing just as fast? Digital products often scale really well because the cost to produce one more is tiny.
Right. Low marginal cost. What else?
Customer acquisition and retention strategies. How will you find customers? Keep them. Is it organic growth, paid ads? And competitive differentiation, what makes your model distinct?
He gives examples.
Yeah, fascinating ones. Like how Dollar Shave Club totally disrupted Gillette with a simple subscription model focused on convenience and cost.
Yeah, I remember that.
He really emphasizes testing and iterating.
Yeah.
Your first idea for a model might not be the final one. Think about Airbnb or Slack. They tweak things early on.
Okay, so you've got your model figured out, and it's all about branding and positioning, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Kelly insists this is way more than just a logo or a color scheme.
It's the whole feeling, the story.
Yeah, the essence of your business, the emotions you stir up. Think Apple or Nike. They create these really deep connections that go beyond just the product specs.
And consistency is key here, he says.
Ruthlessly consistent. Your brand voice, your messaging, it needs to be the same everywhere. Website, social media, how your customer service team talks to people.
Visual identity helps too, right? Like the McDonald's arches. Instant recognition.
Builds trust. And positioning is all about how you stand out in the customer's mind. What makes you different?
That's the unique selling proposition, or USP.
Exactly. It's not just what you sell, but why someone should choose you over the competition. Is it better, faster, cheaper, more convenient? More innovative.
So Dollar Shave Club wasn't just cheap razors.
It was the convenience of monthly delivery. Tesla wasn't just electric cars. It was innovation, sustainability, the future.
Gotcha. And market research is crucial for this.
Absolutely. To understand your audience and refine your message so it actually resonates with their needs and desires.
And most importantly, actually delivering on those brand promises.
Builds that vital trust and loyalty. Kelly's big on authentic storytelling, too. That's what creates the lasting emotional connection.
Okay, so brand established. Now the engine. Sales and marketing. Kelly makes a clear distinction here.
Yeah, they're related but different. Marketing is about creating awareness, generating interest, attracting potential customers, basically filling the top of the funnel.
And sales is about closing the deal, converting those prospects into actual paying customers.
Precisely. Distinct functions, but they have to work hand in glove. Neither succeeds without the other working well.
And it all starts with really, really understanding your audience.
Deeply. Not just demographics, age, location, income, but psychographics too.
What makes them tick? Their values, attitudes, interests, pain points, aspirations, and their behaviors. Where do they hang out online? How do they research purchases?
Once you know that, you craft a compelling value proposition.
Clearly explaining how you solve their problem, the specific benefits, and why you're the better choice.
Airbnbs belong anywhere. Brilliant. Concise, aspirational, benefit-driven.
Then you pick the right channels to reach them, right? Social media, email, content, SEO.
Yeah, you go where your audience actually is. Don't just spray and pray.
Kelly talks quite a bit about content marketing, doesn't he? Providing value up front.
Huge now, yeah. Offering useful, interesting, or inspiring content, blogs, videos, guides, builds trust, and positions you as an authority before you even ask for the sale.
And on the sales side, what does he emphasize?
Relationship building. Moving away from hard sells towards consultative selling.
Acting more like a trusted advisor.
Exactly. Listening to their needs, understanding their pain points, and offering tailored solutions leads to happier customers and more referrals.
And understanding the sales funnel awareness, interest, decision, action helps optimize each stage.
Crucial. You need to know where people are dropping off and why, so you can fix it.
And this isn't just guesswork, it's about data.
Oh, Kelly insists on it. Track everything. Key metrics like customer acquisition cost, CC, customer lifetime value, CLTV, conversion rates, return on investment, ROI, for your marketing spend.
This isn't just for fancy reports, right?
No. It's so you can make smart decisions fast. Pivot away from what's not working, double down on what is, allocate your budget effectively.
Like, if your CAC is higher than your CLTV...
You're losing money on every new customer. You need to know that like yesterday.
Okay, wow. So you've got all this activity marketing, sales, operations. How do you manage it all as you grow? That brings us to systems and processes.
Yes. This is where Kelly says many entrepreneurs get completely bogged down. They hit a growth ceiling because things become chaotic and inefficient.
Systems and processes are the backbone, he says.
Absolutely. They enable you to scale, improve productivity, ensure consistency, and cut down on mistakes dramatically.
Without them, you're just constantly fighting fires, reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. So, just to clarify, a system is like the overall framework or set of procedures for achieving something, and a process is the specific sequence of steps within that system.
Together, they make things repeatable and accountable.
Right. Kelly's advice is pretty straightforward here. Document everything. How do you onboard a client? How do you handle returns? Write it down.
Automate where you can.
Definitely. Use CRM software, email automation tools, anything that saves manual effort for repetitive tasks. Create clear, standard operating procedures, SOPs.
Like a playbook for common tasks.
Yep. And leverage technology project management tools like Asana or Trello, communication platforms like Slack, to keep workflows smooth, especially with a team.
And crucially, he says, train your team on these systems, empower them to use them, and also give feedback on them.
Yes, they shouldn't be rigid commandments. They need to be living things that improve over time.
The benefits seem huge. Scalability, consistency, efficiency.
Risk reduction, too, because things are done correctly. And better decision-making because you have reliable processes.
It's an ongoing effort, though, right? Not set it and forget it.
Constantly refining. Get feedback from employees. Track KPIs related to process efficiency. Keep an eye out for new tech like AI or data analytics that could streamline things even further.
Makes sense. So systems help manage workflow. What about the people doing the work? That brings us to building a strong team.
Even if, right now, you're flying solo, Kelly makes a great point that your initial team might not be employees.
Could be freelancers, virtual assistants, mentors, even automation tools.
Exactly. The key principle, he says, is recognizing when you need to delegate. Trying to wear all the hats yourself is a direct path to burnout and stalled growth.
You become the bottleneck.
Totally. So Kelly advises building that support network early. Get a good accountant, maybe a lawyer you trust. Join mastermind groups for strategic advice.
And when you do start hiring actual people...
That's all. Maybe contractors or part-time help first. Clearly define their roles, responsibilities, and how you'll measure success, those KPIs again.
He's pretty adamant about hiring for attitude and work ethic, not just skills.
Very much so. Skills can often be taught, but a great attitude, reliability, and fitting your company culture, that's harder to find and more valuable long-term.
Communication and trust are obviously vital, especially with remote teams.
Absolutely. And remember, technology can be part of your team too. Project management software, accounting tools. They handle tasks, freeing you up.
Okay, so as you build the structure, these systems maybe start bringing people on, the legal and tax stuff becomes unavoidable.
Not negotiable, really. Kelly frames this as a foundational step that unfortunately a lot of entrepreneurs kind of gloss over or postpone.
And that can lead to massive headaches and costs down the line.
Huge. First step is choosing the right legal structure for your business. Sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, S Corp, C Corp.
Each has different implications for liability, taxes, paperwork.
Exactly. You need to understand those differences, or better yet, get advice on which fits your situation best. Then register your business properly, get an employer identification number, EIN, if needed.
And get your head around tax compliance, federal, state, local.
Income tax, self-employment tax if you're structured that way, payroll taxes if you have employees, potentially sales tax. Kelly's big message here is, don't guess. Consult professionals. A good accountant is worth their weight in gold.
What about other legal stuff? Permits, licenses?
Yeah, compliance also means getting the necessary permits and licenses to operate legally, which can vary wildly depending on your industry and where you're located.
Contracts, too.
Vital. Well-drafted contracts protect your relationships with clients, suppliers, partners. They prevent misunderstandings and disputes.
And protecting your own stuff. Intellectual property.
Super important. Trademarks for your brand name and logo, copyrights for your website, content, or creative works, patents if you have inventions. This safeguards your unique assets and can create a real competitive advantage.
A moat around your business. And if you hire employees,
you absolutely need to understand employment law. Things like correctly classifying workers as employees versus independent contractors. Getting that wrong is a major red flag for tax agencies and labor departments.
So the overall message is be proactive, not reactive.
Yes. Build relationships with good legal and financial advisors early. See it as a strategic investment, not just an expense. It strengthens your foundation and helps you avoid incredibly costly problems later.
Okay. Foundation built, structure sound, team considered, legal ducks in a row. Now it's time to actually do the thing. Execution.
Right. Moving from planning and ideas to tangible action. Kelly reminds us a brilliant idea is worthless without execution.
So many people get stuck in the planning phase, right? Analysis paralysis, fear of failure.
Exactly. He stresses that success isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about acting, learning from the inevitable mistakes quickly, and adjusting your course.
He uses Airbnb's founders as an example.
Yeah, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia. They started with what seemed like a kind of niche, maybe even weird idea, renting out air mattresses on their floor. But they didn't wait for perfection. They executed fast, tested the concept, got real feedback.
Momentum builds confidence. Like Jeff Bezos says, make decisions with 70% of the info, not wait for 100%.
Kelly echoes that. Done is better than perfect. Think about the first version of LinkedIn. It was pretty basic compared to now. But shipping it allowed them to iterate based on real user data.
Execution needs clarity, though, right? Those SMART goals we talked about earlier.
Absolutely. They provide focus. If you're launching, say, an online coaching platform, a SMART execution goal might be acquire 50 paying clients within the first 6 months by building relationships through targeted outreach on LinkedIn and hosting 2 free webinars. Specific, measurable, actionable.
And consistency is key to making progress.
Sustained progress, yeah. Kelly notes that small, consistent actions compound over time. It's like James Clear's atomic habits principle applied to business building.
Kelly's also pretty upfront that execution is scary, isn't he?
Totally candid. Fear of failure, fear of judgment. But successful entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely bootstrapping Spanx find ways to push through that fear. They reframe failure as learning.
It's an ongoing loop. Test, learn, iterate.
Right, like Dropbox creating that simple explainer video first before building the whole complex product just to see if people were even interested. Brilliant, low-cost execution to validate the idea.
What about execution within a team?
Kelly touches on fostering that culture. Approaches like Netflix's freedom and responsibility empower teams to move fast and innovate by trusting them.
And measurement is crucial here, too.
Execution without measurement is like flying blind. Track those operational KPIs, website traffic, conversion rates, average order value, whatever makes sense for your business to make informed, data-driven decisions about what's working and what needs changing.
Finally, adaptability loops back in again, even during execution.
The landscape changes constantly. You can't just rigidly stick to the initial plan if the market shifts or customer feedback tells you something different.
Like Instagram starting as bourbon.
Famous pivot, yeah. They started as a location check-in app, saw users were mostly using the photo sharing feature, and pivoted hard based on that data. The rest is history.
Managing resources wisely during execution is also key.
Especially when you're starting out. Bootstrapping, like Sarah Blakely did, means making every dollar count, maximizing impact with limited capital.
And having mentors helps navigate this phase.
Invaluable. Building a network of advisors, like Steve Jobs famously did, provides guidance, helps you avoid pitfalls, opportunities you might miss.
Maintaining that growth mindset, like Carol Dweck talks about.
Yeah.
Seeing challenges as learning opportunities.
Fosters resilience, which you absolutely need. And Kelly's maybe most important piece of advice for sustaining things and scaling up.
What's that?
Stay relentlessly connected to your why, your mission, your vision, those core goals. That's the fuel that keeps you going through the tough parts of execution.
Wow. Okay, so we have definitely covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We really have.
Building a business that truly lasts. It really is a marathon, isn't it? Not a sprint.
Absolutely.
It takes that strategic planning we talked about, that resilience to keep going, and just constant adaptability. From getting the business plan right to picking the model, building the brand, nailing sales and marketing.
Implementing those systems, building the team, handling the legal and tax stuff.
And then just relentless execution. Every single piece has to work together. They're all interlocked.
That's exactly right. And, as we always try to emphasize, knowing this stuff is one thing, but applying it is where the value is.
Right.
All these elements we discussed, the plan, the mission, vision, goals, the business model, branding, sales, marketing, systems, team, legal, tax, execution, scaling.
Kelly shows how they weave together. They're not separate boxes to check.
They combine to create something sustainable, something that has real impact, something valuable beyond just making a quick buck.
Exactly. It's about building something meaningful.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on as you think about your own path.
Yeah.
Julian Kelly makes this compelling argument that real, true success, it isn't just measured in revenue or how big your market share is.
It's measured by the value you create.
Yes. Value for your customers, value for your employees, value for the wider world even. So as you look at your own business or your idea, what kind of lasting impact do you want to make?
That's a powerful question.
Because ultimately, your unique journey, the bold actions you take, that's what will shape the legacy your business leaves behind. So the journey to building that long-term success, it really starts now. Take this knowledge, take these ideas.
And put them into action. You got this.